Alright, you guys, let the record show. This is the vlog where I'm gonna finish writing my novel. I am not going to wrap up this vlog until it's done. We are at just under 50,000 words, and I'm also in the final scenes. And so that means this book is gonna be much shorter than I thought it was gonna be. But I do know I have to go back and do some rewriting, because as I sit here and kind of be mindful, sometimes as I write the first draft, I make notes to what I need to edit in the second draft. And one of the things I need to edit is I realize I kind of just jumped into the conflict and I never showed a lot of what the characters were like with each other before the conflict started happening. So I need to go back and do that. And I also know there are certain scenes where I was doing a lot of telling and not showing, because I don't know, at the time I was like, oh, we're in the moment, let's just keep going, and now I'm like, oh, I need to flesh that out more. So there is a little bit of fleshing out that needs to be done. I don't think the novel will hit 80,000 words like I originally thought it would. I think it'll be more in the 60 to 70,000 word category, but from my understanding and some research I've been doing, it's very normal for sweet romances, especially to be on the shorter side, because, you know, they're just fun, fluffy books. And that's why they tend to be shorter. So I'm fine with that. It was just a little bit for me to get used to. But with that said, I am in the closing scenes. I am about to write the scene where the two characters finally, confess their feelings and finally just be very blunt with each other. And I would keep writing it, but I really need to wake up my little one from her nap. Otherwise, her second nap of the day is not going to happen when it's supposed to, and then bedtime will be all messed up. So unfortunately, I do have to stop. Also, unfortunately, is that today is Monday, and normally my husband takes Monday off to watch my daughter, and he does have the day off, but he has to do some car stuff. So unfortunately, that means I am on baby duty today still, and and basically that means that I don't know if I'll be able to sit down and write again today. I am almost at 3,000 words for the day. Actually, am I at 3,000 words? I've basically hit 3,000 words for the day in one nap time, which is awesome. I'm shocked because I've been writing so slowly lately. So I'm almost at 3,000 words if I'm doing my math correctly. And so I do have another 2,000 words to write, which I might get done during her second nap, but I also have to go grocery shopping. I also have to do some content creation stuff. So there's just other annoying admin stuff that I have to get to too. And the content creation specifically, I have to do when there's still daylight. And right now it's dark by 5 p.m., so I can't exactly wait to do that until after she goes to bed. Long story short is I don't know if I'll be able to keep writing today, but if I do keep writing, I'll let you guys know and show you what the word count total ends up being. So I'm still trying to shoot for my normal word count goals that I've been doing, but I'm being much more lax with them this week because I do think I'm going to finish writing the book this week. So if I don't hit 5,000 words today, not a big deal. I'm just going to celebrate whatever I do get done. Alright, I officially have everything written except for the epilogue. So I still plan on writing the epilogue and I guess technically the bonus scene, but my epilogue is now going to be the bonus scene that I was going to have at the end of the book. But the epilogue scene is going to be so fun that I don't want to just not automatically include it in the book. So I want to make what was supposed to be the bonus scene the new epilogue of the book, and then I'll just have to figure out a new bonus scene, which should be easy enough. But also, I think I have a couple contenders For what the title of the book is going to be, still not completely sure yet, so that's still pending. I have one title that I'm not really in love with because it's like a little too cheesy, and then another title that I really like, but like I just came up with it today, so maybe that's why I'm not totally in love with it yet. But I will say my book is at like 51,000 words, which is not nearly close to the 80,000 words that I thought it was going to be. But again, I know for a fact that at the beginning of the book I did some underwriting. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to like make up for word count, because I truly am not a fan of like really, really short books. Like, I get that it's a romance and therefore it's not going to be a super complex plot book, but it still feels like maybe this means there's something that needs to be added to the book that I haven't realized yet. But the romance plot I feel like is really strong. So I don't know if there's another side plot or the side plot that's already there, if I should flesh that out just a tiny bit more. But I'm feeling really good about this, especially since I was able to come up with a way to put the book 2 character in book 1 really seamlessly. And this also opens up and makes me already want to start writing book 2, which I have to figure out when I want to start doing that, because I will admit I want to have at least draft 1 of book 2 written before I publish book 1, because again, I've told you guys I want to start publishing faster, and in order to pull that off, I need to do a different timeline than what I'm currently doing, where currently I typically write an entire book, edit an entire book, publish an entire book, and then like take a tiny break and then start writing the next book. Whereas in this case, I think there's going to be a lot of overlap. Whereas when I'm editing book 1, as soon as I finish editing book 1, I think I'm going to start writing book 2. So I think very soon I'm going to sit down and start looking at a timeline and figure out when I want all this to happen. So if you guys want another writing vlog where I kind of figure that out, let me know. Otherwise, I've just heard my daughter and she's waking up. So I will tune in when I write the epilogue next. Well, thankfully I'm finished writing for the day, because FedEx just arrived. Yui's freaking out, and I can hear my little one has been woken up. Baby's awake, a dog's barking. Apparently a package has arrived. But oh, in case you're wondering, I also finished writing my book, but apparently that's been overshadowed. Well, it's now many hours later, and my daughter is in the process of falling asleep for bed, and I'm just now getting back to this. Today has been one of those days where I just realized how many things are on my to-do list and how I actually have time to do almost none of them. So to give a little bit of a behind the scenes look, I have been, for a very long time, been trying to get on TikTok Shop to do signed books, because that's a whole thing over there. I don't know if I'll be able to jump on that bandwagon, but I've been trying under my pen name Mandi Lynn Bell to start a new account, post, and hopefully sell signed books. And it's been just now starting to get like the tiniest bit of traction, and by that I mean I'm actually now getting followers and people actually watching my TikToks, whereas before like no one was. But anyways, I've been wrestling a lot with the behind the scenes process of getting on TikTok Shop, but yesterday my books finally came in the mail, so I could actually open my shop. And now that the shop is open, I'm realizing, oh, I need to do this, oh, I need to do that. So that's what I've been doing behind the scenes. And with that said, I ended up taking yesterday off from writing and just made the conscious decision to take a break, because I was so close to the end of writing my book anyways, and I just like I could feel myself starting to burn out. So I'm like, I need a break. Like, I wrote for 2 days, I'm gonna take a break and then write for another 2 days. So I did end up writing today a little bit, I think just under 2,000 words. I have to do the math on that still, but I wrote the epilogue of my book today. So really all that's left is to write the bonus scene, which I think I'm gonna try to do tomorrow. We'll see. It will be the next thing that I write though. But as I was writing the epilogue, I realized there was a whole B story side quest that I completely forgot to write into my book. Like, my main character, she had this side story, and I got so swept up with the love story, I completely forgot it. Hence, why this book is so short. So now, when I do rewrites, it's not gonna be like a little bit of rewriting. It's gonna be, I don't know. I guess we'll see how much of this side story changes the rest of the story. But it's gonna take some creative thinking on my part. But I already am making like a long, extensive list of notes of what I need to do when I edit the next draft. So I'm feeling good about it, but I'm also not looking forward to it because I really hate editing. Like, I hate this stage of editing where the first draft is so new and so messy, and there's just a lot to figure out when it comes to editing. But I'm not there yet. I'm not even done writing yet, but I'm already dreading the edits because I just know I have so much that still needs to be added. Like, the love story itself is great, but everything else about it needs a lot of work. And with that said, yesterday, because even though I wasn't writing yesterday, I did do a lot of thinking yesterday. Because I wanted to make sure I really nailed down what the epilogue was going to be, what the bonus scene was going to be. And then it occurred to me, I want to do a free novella. Like, I want to do, for this series of books, to write a novella that's not necessarily like part of the series, but it gives the feel and the vibes of what the series is going to be. And I'm going to have this novella that's going to be available for free for everyone. And the only way to get the novella is by subscribing to my newsletter. And then hopefully you love it so much that you're like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read the rest of her books. And I think I want the novella to come out first. I want the novella to come out and be published right before the book itself is published. And then also, like I think I said earlier in this video, I want to have at least the first draft of book 2 written before book 1 comes out. So now, I really need to figure out what I want to do publishing-wise in terms of a timeline, because if I still need to write a novella, which is not outlined, or even has a concept, by the way, it's just, I know I want a novella, I just don't know what it's going to be about. So I have this idea for a novella that needs to be written, edited, and published before book 1. The book itself needs to be edited and published, and then book 2 also needs to be at least roughly written before book 1 is published. And now this is the part where I sit back and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Like, what have I done to myself? And I'm like really excited to jump into this series in this world, but my excitement levels are here and my productivity is like down here. And that's not my fault. I can only be so productive when I can only work like 2 to 4 hours a day. Like, it is what it is. But I'm starting to realize that I have to be a lot more realistic with my expectations. So I feel like every couple months lately I've been having to reevaluate everything that's on my plate and being like, okay, what can I take off my plate? What's important to me? What's a waste of time? But I've already done a lot of that. So I don't know if there's anything else I can take off my plate. So I don't know if novellas in the future, because part of me is like, it's a novella. It's literally not going to make me money directly, but it will introduce me to readers, and if they love the novella, hopefully they go ahead and read the rest of the series. But I don't want to waste my time writing a novella unless it's going to be really good. That way they do indeed like it and then want to read the rest of the series. So I could also just write the novella later and do it whenever I feel like it, but for some reason I feel compelled to have the novella come out first. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyways, this is me rambling. I have to go now because I have so much on my to-do list. But I'm going to go ahead and write the fun bonus scene tomorrow, which I'm actually so excited about. Anyways, my daughter is maybe asleep, but either way, I need to start being productive now. finished writing the book, finished writing the bonus scene. The novel is complete at about 55,000 words, which is way shorter than it's supposed to be. So it's a little rough. Like, literally, the longer I sit on it, the more I realize how many things I forgot to include. Um, so yeah, we have to work on that. But I got, how many words did I write today? 1,640 words. Anyways, I have to wrap up this vlog because I got some Black Friday stuff to do. I'm having a sale on my store, stoneridgebooks.com. I have combined everything to be under one roof now. So my merch, my stickers, which were previously on Etsy, but I think I'm going to remove my Etsy store. I moved my stickers back to being on a domain that I own to avoid the Etsy fees. So my merch, my stickers, and also my signed books. I now have stock of books back in. So if you want to purchase signed books as Christmas presents, I'm having a Black Friday sale. Everything is 30% off. There's stuff for readers, stuff for writers. Go to stoneridgebooks.com to shop all of that. It's until November 30th. That is the last day you can take advantage of the sale. And then everything's still going to be available, but the 30% off will no longer be there. Anyways, I'm incredibly proud of all the work I was able to do with the baby. I've been able to do all the writing almost exclusively while she was napping. There were a few times I had to keep writing while she was awake, like if she woke up from a nap early and I still need to wrap things up. There were some times where my husband was watching her while she was awake, but for the most part, I did it mostly just while she was napping, and I'm very proud of the outcome that we have. And it's just been a crazy year. I feel like the first 6 months of my daughter's life, I was literally doing almost nothing, and then the last 6 months, because she's almost gonna be a year, like in 2 weeks, she'll be a year old, which is crazy. So the last 6 months of her life, I've been like hyper working. I made the 2025 writing planner, which is technically out now. I wrote the first draft of this book. I came back to YouTube. I feel like really productively. I feel like I've been better about posting on social media again, which I wasn't even good at before my daughter was born. And there's just a ton of behind the scene admin stuff that I've been doing, mainly redoing my Stone Ridge Books website to be able to put my merch on there, my stickers, and my signed books all in one place. I'm also on TikTok Shop now for my pen name, so Mandi Lynn Bell. I'm on TikTok as Mandi Lynn Bell, and I make videos there, and I sell my signed books on TikTok through there. So I just feel like lately I've been feeling much more like myself, and I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately, but there's something you go through when you're a brand new mom where you just feel like you're never gonna have your life back again, and you like really mourn your old life. And I went through a lot in terms of like postpartum. Like my pregnancy was easy, my labor was easy, and then my postpartum, it was like every roadblock that was possible, I hit it. And so sorry, I'm getting a little nostalgic right now because my daughter's also about to turn 1, so please excuse me, but I'm just very proud of how far I've come, and I just feel like I need to say that out loud and celebrate with you guys. So yay to writing the first draft of this book, especially while having a baby at home. But very soon, she's not going to be a baby anymore, and she's going to be a toddler. Anyways, I do think I'm going to keep up with the writing vlogs. Let me know if you guys enjoy them. I've kind of been rethinking of my work schedule and how I work. Like, I'm trying to make myself as productive as possible because I have such small pockets of time to work with. Because previously, I would script videos every Monday and film videos every Tuesday, schedule the videos on Thursday, and that worked okay, but it just left not a lot of time to do other stuff. And I'm thinking now I might just do a thing where I dedicate 1 week out of the month to doing all my YouTube stuff, so then the 3 other weeks throughout the rest of the month can be dedicated to writing or admin work or literally anything else but YouTube, because YouTube takes a lot of time, but I also very much enjoy it. So I'm trying to find balance. So I'm gonna try out this new writing schedule because I want to write more. I want to publish faster. You guys already know that. And I'm trying to publish faster while also taking care of a child full time. Anyways, I think the next writing vlog will either be a writing vlog where I discuss with you guys how I plan to edit this book, or discuss with you guys the publishing timeline kind of concept that I'm going to be trying out. So let me know if either of those topics interest you, and if they do, I will make sure to vlog the process. Otherwise, that is it for this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.